Picture this. I'm standing in a packed courtroom, handcuffs biting into my wrists, my two kids watching from the back row with wide, terrified eyes. The judge peers over his glasses and asks the one question that could end my life as I know it. Miss Thompson, do you have anything to say before we proceed to sentencing? Before I can even open my mouth, my boss, Richard Hale, the man who used to hand me a coffee every Friday and call me the heartbeat of this office, leans forward in the witness bench and speaks loud enough for the whole room to hear. She's just the cleaner, Your Honor. 8 years mopping floors and emptying trash. She had keys, after-hours access, nobody watching. She stole $82,000. You don't need a smoking gun when the motive is that obvious. Look at her life. The words hit like a slap. Just the cleaner. That one phrase erased every late-night shift, every thank you note I left on desks, every time I stayed extra to help someone who spilled coffee at 10 p.m. The gallery murmured in agreement. Even my own lawyer's shoulders slumped a little. Before we continue with this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for updates. My name is Sarah Thompson. I'm 34. I have a 9-year-old daughter, Maya, and a 12-year-old son, Liam. For 8 years, I've been the night cleaner at Apex Financial Services, a mid-sized accounting firm downtown. I arrive at 7 p.m. after my day job in the school cafeteria, scrub toilets, vacuum carpets, wipe down every desk so the accountants can pretend their world is spotless when they walk in at 8 a.m. I never once complained. Never once took so much as a pen home. My kids' school clothes come from thrift stores, and my pride comes from knowing I pay every bill on time. But 6 months ago, something changed. I started noticing things. Small at first. Shredded bank statements in the confidential bin that weren't supposed to be there. Mr. Hale's office light on at 2 a.m. when the building was supposed to be empty. Tense phone calls I pretended not to hear while I mopped the hallway outside his door. I told myself it was nothing. Rich people have problems rich people solve. Then the money went missing. $82,000. Vanished in fake vendor payments. And every single trail led straight back to the one person nobody would ever suspect. Me. The police came to my apartment at 6:15 in the morning. They read me my rights in front of my still pajamaed kids. They took my phone, my laptop, even the little notebook where I wrote grocery lists. Mr. Hale stood in the hallway watching, arms folded, looking almost relieved. Everyone assumed I was guilty. Single mom. Struggling. Desperate. Easy story. What nobody knew, what I couldn't tell anyone yet, was that I had been watching him too. And I had pictures. Timestamps. Audio clips recorded on the same cheap phone I used to call my kids goodnight. But would any of it matter when the most powerful man in the company had already convinced the world I was nothing but a thief in a cleaning uniform? I looked up at the judge, heart hammering so loud I thought the whole courtroom could hear it. Then my lawyer stood. And everything I'd been holding inside for months was about to come out. It started 6 months earlier, on one of those quiet Thursday nights when the entire building felt like it belonged to me alone. I was finishing the break room counters when I heard Mr. Hale's office door click open down the hall. It was 1:47 a.m. No cleaning cart near his door. No reason for anyone to still be there. I froze, rag dripping in my hand, and listened. Low voice. Angry. You said this quarter would balance. It's not balancing. I need another transfer by Monday, or the board starts asking questions I can't answer. Silence. Then softer, almost pleading. Just make it look like routine vendor payments. Small enough chunks. No one's going to dig through line items on a Friday afternoon. I should have kept mopping. Pretended I heard nothing. But something in his tone, sharp, scared, made me slip my phone out of my apron pocket and hit record. Just in case. The next week I found the first red flag in the trash, a single sheet of paper, half shredded, showing a vendor name I'd never seen before, P Consulting LLC, and a payment of $4,800. The shredder was in his office. Only he had the key. I smoothed it out, took a quick photo with my phone flash off, then buried it back under coffee cups and printer test pages. I told myself I was being paranoid. Rich men have secrets. Cleaners have bills. Stay in your lane, Sarah. But the late nights kept happening. Twice more I caught him there after midnight. Once he walked right past me in the hallway, sleeves rolled up, eyes red, and muttered, "Evening, Sarah. You're a saint for keeping this place spotless." He smiled like always.
Warm.
Familiar. The same smile he used when he slipped me an extra 20 at Christmas for the kids. That smile made what I was starting to suspect hurt even worse. I began paying closer attention. I noticed how he always logged out of his computer when he left, but sometimes the screen stayed on sleep mode, not fully shut down. One night, I saw the login screen still glowing, his username, cursor blinking in the password field. He'd walked away to the restroom. I could have touched the keyboard. I didn't, but I memorized the pattern of keys he usually typed. Stupid? Maybe. Useful later?
Definitely.
My kids started asking why I seemed distracted. Maya, my 9-year-old, drew me a picture at school, me in my blue uniform holding a mop like a sword. "You're the strongest, Mommy," she wrote underneath. I cried in the car after I picked them up. Then came the night everything shifted. I was vacuuming outside the accounting bullpen when I saw his office light flicker on again. 2:12 a.m. I killed the vacuum, crept closer, phone already recording audio. Through the half-open door, I watched him type furiously, transfer screen open, amounts ticking up, $7, $200, $9, $512,000. He whispered to himself, almost laughing. "They'll never check the cleaner's access logs. She's got motive written all over her." My stomach dropped. He was setting me up. I backed away slowly, heart slamming against my ribs, and whispered into my phone one last time before I stopped the recording. February 14th, 2:18 a.m. Richard Hale just transferred company money. And he said my name. I had no idea how much danger I'd just recorded, because 2 weeks later, $82,000 was officially missing, and the police were at my door with Mr. Hale standing right behind them. The day the police showed up at my door with a warrant, Mr. Hale was standing right behind them, arms crossed, looking satisfied. It was 6:15 a.m. I was still in my pajamas, coffee half made, when the knock came. Maya and Liam froze at the kitchen table, cereal spoons halfway to their mouths. 2 officers stepped inside, badges flashing. "Sarah Thompson, you're under arrest for embezzlement." I laughed at first, nervous, confused. There must be a mistake. Then I saw him. Richard Hale, in a crisp suit, leaning against the hallway wall like he was watching a TV show. His eyes met mine for half a second, and I swear, he almost smiled. They cuffed me right there in front of my kids. Maya started crying. Liam tried to be brave, but his voice cracked when he asked, "Mom, what's happening?" I told them it was a big misunderstanding, that I'd be home by dinner. I was lying and they knew it. By 9 a.m., I was in a holding cell. The charge, $82,000 transferred to fake vendor accounts over 4 months. Every single login came from the third-floor computers after hours. The same computers I use sometimes to print homework or check my bank balance. Mr. Hale had filed a detailed report the day before. Ms. Thompson had unsupervised access. She's been struggling financially. Motive is clear. Apex fired me by email before lunch. My coworkers, people who used to wave and say, "Have a good night, Sarah," suddenly remembered they'd seen me lingering near the accounting desks. One even told the police I'd complained about money once. Betrayal tastes like metal in your mouth. Bail was denied. Flight risk, the judge said, because I'm a single mom with no assets. My sister took the kids that night. I called them from the jail phone and heard Maya whisper, "They said you stole money, Mommy. Is that true?" I cried harder than I ever have in my life. That's when I finally broke and called the only person who might listen, a pro bono lawyer named Elena Ramirez. She was 42, sharp-eyed, and already buried in cases. I met her in a tiny interview room the next morning. "I didn't do it," I told her, voice shaking. "But I have something." I showed her the photos on my phone, time-stamped images of shredded documents, late-night transfers, the half-open office door. Then I played the audio. Hale's voice, crystal clear. "They'll never check the cleaner's access logs. She's got motive written all over her." Elena's eyes widened. This is huge, but it's still circumstantial. He's a respected CFO. You're the cleaner. We need more. She took the case anyway. We spent the next 3 weeks building whatever we could. Meanwhile, rumors spread. My kids got teased at school. Friends stopped answering texts. And I heard through the grapevine that Richard Hale had just been recommended for a promotion. The trial was set for the following Monday. Mr. Hale was scheduled to testify first. And what he was about to say on that stand might bury me forever unless one tiny detail I'd almost forgotten was about to blow the whole thing wide open. The courtroom was dead silent the moment Richard Hale took the stand. He looked perfect, tailored navy suit, calm voice, the picture of a trustworthy executive. The prosecutor asked the first question, and Hale leaned in like he was doing the world a favor. Your Honor, Sarah Thompson had full after-hours access to every computer on the 3rd floor. She's been with us 8 years, but lately she started asking for more hours, complaining about bills. I trusted her. We all did. But the login records don't lie. $82,000 routed through fake vendors, all from the exact terminals she cleaned every night. She's just the cleaner, but she had the keys, the time, and the motive. I'm sorry to say it, but the evidence speaks for itself. Every head in the room turned toward me. The judge's face stayed blank, but I saw the shift in his eyes, the same look people give when they've already decided you're guilty. My own lawyer, Elena, scribbled notes furiously, but her pen was shaking. The prosecutor played the company logs next, timestamps showing my supposed username logging in at 1:50 a.m., 2:07 a.m., exactly when the transfers happened. No one else was in the building, he said, except the cleaner. I wanted to scream. Those were the exact nights I'd caught him. When it was my turn on the stand, my voice came out small. I never touched those accounts. I was cleaning. That's all. The prosecutor asked one question that felt like a knife. Miss Thompson, as a single mother making $19 an hour, $82,000 must have looked like a way out, didn't it? The jury nodded along. I felt my whole future slipping away right there in front of my kids sitting in the back row. Elena stood up for cross-examination. She started slow, almost too calm. Mr. Hale, you said no one else had access after hours. Is that correct? He nodded confidently. Yes. Then can you explain these? She clicked the projector. The first photo filled the screen, time-stamped February 14th, 2:18 a.m. me, in my cleaning uniform, standing outside his office door. But the next slide was him. Sleeves rolled up, sitting at the computer, screen clearly showing the transfer page. His username. My login credentials typed in. The exact amounts. Gasps rippled through the courtroom. Elena didn't stop. She hit play on the audio. Hale's own voice filled the room, crystal clear. They'll never check the cleaner's access logs. She's got motive written all over her. Just make it look like routine vendor payments. The judge sat up straight. The jury leaned forward. Hale's face drained of color, that perfect, professional mask cracking right in front of everyone. Elena turned to the judge and said the words that changed everything. Your Honor, we have forensic proof these transfers originated from Mr. Hale's personal accounts. The defendant didn't steal the money. She paused, letting the silence stretch. He did. And he tried to frame an innocent cleaner to cover it up. The entire courtroom exploded. But the real bomb was still about to drop. Because what happened in the next 60 seconds would either send me to prison for a decade or put the man who called me, just the cleaner, in handcuffs instead. The courtroom exploded the second Elena finished speaking. The judge slammed his gavel twice, but nobody quieted down. Richard Hale's face had gone completely white. He opened his mouth like he was going to explain, but the words never came. 2 bailiffs were already moving toward him. Elena kept going, calm and unstoppable. Your Honor, the forensic audit we requested this morning confirms every transfer went straight into accounts controlled by Mr. Hale. The login records were falsified using Sarah's credentials that he had access to. The shredded documents we recovered from his office trash matched the fake vendors he created. She didn't steal anything. She caught him. And he tried to destroy her life to save himself. The judge didn't even wait for the jury. All charges against Sarah Thompson are dismissed immediately. Mr. Hale, You are under arrest for embezzlement, fraud, and perjury. The handcuffs clicked on him right there in front of the same people who had believed him an hour earlier. He looked at me for one last second. No smile this time, just pure panic, before they let him out. I didn't cry until the judge looked straight at me and said, "Miss Thompson, on behalf of this court, I apologize. You were nearly punished for someone else's crime." That's when the tears came. 8 months of fear, shame, and fighting to be believed crashed over me all at once. I buried my face in my hands and sobbed so hard my shoulders shook. Relief. Pure, bone-deep relief. But the story didn't end there. Hale was charged the same afternoon. He pleaded guilty 2 months later to avoid a longer trial and got 7 years in prison. His wife filed for divorce the week after the arrest. She told the papers she'd had no idea but couldn't stay married to a man who framed an innocent single mother. Apex fired him instantly, issued a public apology to me, and quietly paid me $45,000 in back wages plus damages, so I wouldn't sue. Most of my old coworkers reached out with awkward, "I'm so sorry" texts. A few even showed up at my door with flowers and gift cards for the kids. My life didn't just go back to normal, it got better. 3 months later, I walked back into that same building, but this time in business clothes. Apex offered me a new position, office administrator. I now help manage the very systems Hale tried to ruin. I make 3 times what I earned cleaning. Maya and Liam have new school shoes, a real family vacation plan for summer, and they never have to hear, "Your mom's the thief," again. I still keep that old cleaning apron in my closet as a reminder. Some nights I look at my kids sleeping and whisper the same thing I told the camera the day I recorded Hale. They thought I was just the cleaner. Turns out the person everyone overlooked was the one holding the truth. And justice finally saw me.